The Toronto Raptors take care of business versus the Nets. Brandon Ingram and Immanuel Quickley sleepwalk to buckets. Let's go to the film room.
The only thing that's originally filmed is that and I've studied older films and tried to figure out how I got that impression. I always get amazed when I'm in the cutting room.
The unique thing about film is an art form
exactly.
is the editing.
Brandon Ingram is shooting 60% on dribble jumpers from two-point land, and he never lets any defenders rush him. He knows how he wants to get to his spots, gets Terrence Mann to bite on this pump fake, and then just gets the foul call there. The Raptors' offense is predicated on taking a lot of tough shots, and B.I. knows how to take those shots. Just beautiful, silky smooth jumper right there. So watch how many options B.I. has here. So what will happen is Jacoby Walter is going to set a cross screen for him, and Jakob Poeltl is going to come in and set a down screen for him. So he can either pop out this way, get it in this mid-range area that he likes, or he can pop out this way, and he's in the pinch post area, and he likely gets a mismatch there. So they're giving him options, right? Options to go whichever way he'd like to. And so B.I. this time doesn't go under, waits for Jakob, down screen, and now he's in the middle of the paint, right? And it's a pretty good advantage for him to kind of work one-on-one in the paint. You know, he has options here. Good cut, good timing by Jamal Shed to cut here, and he just knocks down the jumper. Really smooth stuff from B.I. So this is that pinch post area that I was talking about. They get a clear out here, so it's an isolation for B.I. He can go one-on-one, and he can cause havoc, right? He can get to this area, and that way he gets the help defense to dig in, and if the help defense is digging in, that might mean an open opportunity for Jakob Poeltl or for Jamal Shed to, and Shed is so quick that he can grab this and burst to the basket. So it gives a lot of options for Brandon Ingram to be a playmaker, and so now he's playing with him, right? He's dancing with Terrence Mann, and as soon as Terrence Mann reaches in here, he gets the foul call. That's really smart work from B.I. So this time, a handoff into a pick and roll between Jakob and B.I. Really good job by Jakob to set that screen to give B.I. the advantage. Now, Yegor Djoman is on B.I.'s hip, right? And so now you have the opportunity for B.I. He's got him in jail. He can do whatever he wants here. And this is his playground at this point. Gets Clowney to bite on the fake, and then a step through finish. Really tough stuff. Now one-on-one against the rookie, again in the pinch post area, right? And now the Nets want to help. And so this causes the Nets defense to really be in a rut because Scotty can fill to the middle of the paint here, and that creates an opportunity. You know, if let's say the help pops in here, then Jakob has an opportunity here in the dunker spot. Or if Porter Jr. comes here, then you have RJ above the break. There's just a lot of options here because of what Brandon Ingram can do in that pinch post area. And look at the options available to him. So, yeah, Scotty gets in the middle of the floor. Probably an ill-advised, like, no-look pass. He could have kicked it out too quickly here, but instead, the no-look pass, it's a turnover. But that opportunity was created by Brandon Ingram. So I like this because B.I. recognizes he has Joman on him. And he's trying to get RJ to cut through and for Scotty to clear out so that he has a one-on-one opportunity with Joman. So here, you know, he sees it. RJ does clear out, and B.I. just blows right by Joman. Step back, jumper, clean. So Iverson screen for B.I. here as he pops out to the 45 extended. Then they run a pick and roll between him and Jakob Poeltl. And, like, this is just real craftsmanship from Brandon Ingram. It was an awesome BI game, folks, as we welcome you into the film room. Appreciate you guys tapping in. As always, subscribe to Raptors Republic. The Raptors got themselves a win in Brooklyn, 119-109. It was a lethargic game, how I would describe it, just because the Raptors came out flat, and it looked like they were about to get trapped in a trap game. You know, obviously the Nets are not winning basketball games right now. I believe they're 1-10 to start the season after this game. So clearly it felt like the Raptors eased up off the gas pedal to start this one. And no one really got it going offensively or defensively. It just looked like a team that wasn't really interested in playing tonight, except Brandon Ingram and Immanuel Quickley, who led the charge for the most part for this team. BI ended up with 25 points on 17 shots, had 5 rebounds and 4 assists. Again, he got to that free throw line, which was really good, helping the offense stay efficient. I think for the most part, with the Raptors offense sputtering in this game and looking lethargic is the word that I'm going to use here, but it was bad, truthfully. And part of that is the poor shooting. 9 of 35 from 3 tonight. The Raptors have enjoyed some really good shooting so far. They did not have a good shooting game against the Nets. RJ Barrett, their main, driver, and I use driver in the sense that like he's literally their best driver. He's not the driver of offense, but by being the guy who attacks the paint more frequently, he drives their offense. So that's why the quotation marks there. But he had a really strugglesome night too. 6 of 21 for 13 shots. He was 0 of 7 from 3. RJ really struggled in this game. And so the Raptors had to kind of grind it out. And there's perhaps no better player on the Raptors to grind out a win than Brandon Ingram. He just carved up the Nets in the mid-range area. He was so prolific at knocking down his shots in that mid-range area. Let me look at what he did. So he was in the mid-range area. He was 6 of 10. He was 6 of 10. He shot 60% in that mid-range area, which, by the way, would be his average. He is basically averaging 60% on those long mid-range shots, which, according to Sampson, who mentioned this on the pull-up tray, that would be a career high for him. That would be the best mark of his career. So hopefully that sticks. And honestly, the Raptors have been good offensively. They've been really impressive offensively. I think their offense will be better than what I imagined coming into the year. But at the same time, they will rely on BI to be a tough shot maker. And he has been so far. And while I think you could kind of talk about his defense and how the defense hasn't been the greatest, truthfully, and how he's really adapting to the style of defense that they want to play. You could probably talk about some of the playmaking that I think he can be better at, reads-wise. But again, that's incorporating into a new roster. But ultimately, I think he's doing exactly what he's being tasked to do for this Raptors team, which is take and make tough shots. And we saw that on full display tonight. I've been really excited. I haven't really had a chance to break down BI tape because, so much of the conversation has been, why is the defense sucking? And so I had to break down the defense sucking. And then it was like, oh, well, CMB has a good game. Let's break down CMB and what's wrong with IQ. So when IQ had good games, we broke down IQ. And Scotty, with the all defense performances, it was like, all right, we're leaning into Scotty and talking about that. Ingram has sort of chugged along doing what we expected him to do. And while I think the offense can be more efficient, hopefully the three-point shot improves as the season goes along. I think he's shooting 31% right now on threes. Let me double check that. Yeah, he's shooting 30% actually on threes and 29% on catch and shoot threes. And so that number will go up, folks. He was a 37% catch and shoot three-point shooter for 8 seasons in New Orleans, and 75% of his threes total came off the catch in New Orleans. So I really believe his three-point shot will regress back to the normal in a good way. But the mid-range stuff is exactly what you like from him, especially because the Raptors, and Louis Zatzman wrote this for Raptors Republic tonight as a recap, when RJ Barrett is struggling, the Raptors don't have a guy who can really get 2 feet in the paint consistently. And so that makes it so that it's a lot harder for them to tilt defenses. And so they have to take tough shots. And again, who takes tough shots the best? Right now, at least, it's Brandon Ingram. Folks, Immanuel Quickley also had a really good game tonight. And again, Brooklyn Nets tax, if you will, but he was pretty good. 24 points, 10 of 17 shooting, knocked down 3 threes, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals. I thought the presence of Jakob Poeltl really helped him get his game going. And there is probably no player on this Raptors team that will benefit from a healthy Jakob Poeltl quite like Immanuel Quickley. The screening is so important to him. The sealing in and around the basket is so important to him. He's his best connection as a playmaker just because he's such a giant target that he can throw the passes to. Jakob is so good in the short roll area as well. So it kind of, I talked about getting the defense in rotation, but when Immanuel Quickley is knocking down his pull-up threes, defenses are forced to throw two at the ball, and he can make the play to the short roll area where Jakob can be this sort of creator for them. That's good offense. Let's break down some IQ tape. Really good to have IQ back and knocking down his catch and shoot threes. It's so important for the Raptors offense for him to space the floor. You got to kind of take what you can get from IQ, especially when he gets in the paint. These floaters are really important to dropping. IQ as a screener in Spain pick and roll action. So Spain pick and roll is screen the screener. Here's RJ and Yak running a pick and roll, and IQ is going to set a pick on, I believe that's Noah Clowney, and he's going to pop out here, which is going to cause some trouble for the defense, right? So now the defense is scrambling. They have to worry about Yak on the roll, and so I believe that's Drake Powell. Drake Powell tags Jakob that's running down the basket, and that creates a wide open shot for IQ. IQ does a great job of using the closeout here to drive, get two, and he doesn't force this shot because I think this is a shot that IQ was forcing earlier on in the season. Dumped off to Jakob for the finish. Off-ball action here for Quick and Yak. So he sets a pin down screen, or actually, off-ball action between Quick and Yak. He sets a flare screen for IQ to flare out. And now the defense is reacting to this. So he gets Noah Clowney. Kind of nice job snaking this. And again, the seal by Jakob. So Jakob seals Zaire Williams, and quickly ends up with the floater wide open. And the pick and roll connection between them is potent. Does a great job here of recognizing Jakob slipping to the basket, just hits him, and he knocks down the floater. Working as a play finisher too. So RJ with the drive, swing, and look how deep this three is. When Quick is able to space and knock down these shots, he is such a lethal threat. And this is a big-time bucket for the Raptors. This is good stuff, utilizing a shooter. So Jamison Battle here is going to slip this screen and pop out. That's weaponizing Battle as a shooter for Quickley to get downhill. Nets miscommunicate this pick and roll. And a great job by IQ of staying patient, right? Working with Jakob, especially as the guy who's really blocking out the big man for him. So again, another seal. And IQ settles with the floater. Another high pick and roll situation between Jakob and IQ. And again, he gets the switch, and that allows IQ to settle for a pull-up. The daylight was there because of Jakob. And so that is the ideal version of a good Immanuel Quickley game. And the connection between him and Jakob is so important. That's why it's important for Jakob to stay healthy and be healthy. I'm going to be honest with you guys, he does not look healthy, especially in that first half. Much like the last game he played, his first half and his second half were very different. I don't know what he does at halftime or whatever, but it may be like maybe the back is in a way where he needs to get loose in order to feel good playing. And when he plays in the first and second quarter, he doesn't feel loose yet. So once he gets to the third and fourth quarter, his back is loose. He can kind of move around more because the mobility was tough to watch, especially in the first and second quarter. I mean, Noah Clowney and Nick Claxton were taking him off the dribble, and it was no problem, you know? And while those are, like, good players and they can get to their bags genuinely at their position, Yak should be able to hold his own defensively. They need Yak to be a good defensive player and a rim protector for them. They also need him to be healthy, and I think no one needs him to be healthy more than Immanuel Quickley. Folks, I also think a big part of like the Raptors' success is playing more shooters. You know, they ran a lineup tonight with RJ and Scotty surrounded by IQ, Jamison Battle, and Grady Dick. And that lineup was +7 in like 3 minutes. And I think it was just because so much spacing for RJ and Scotty to work, and there were a lot of options in terms of what they could do. I think the Raptors need to play Jamison Battle more. He was, let's see what Battle ended up with. He was a solid 0 in the plus-minus category in 13 minutes. He didn't win or lose his minutes, but I thought he had some good plays, did a good job of like relocating out and weaponizing his shooting ability. had a good defensive play against Terrence Mann. He needs to play more, truthfully, especially because, like, I don't think you can be kind of like hard and strict and fast with your rules when it comes to the rotation here in that shooting guard position between Ochai, between Grady, between Jacoby. It really depends, and Jameson. It just depends on who the guy is that's knocking down his shots. That's the simple aspect to this thing. Like, if he's knocking down his shots, he gets to play more. And Battle, for his part, does a pretty good job of knocking down his threes. Like, if they're open and if they're not off movement, he's knocking them down. And truthfully, he's gotten better at knocking them down off of movement too. So he deserves to play. I think he should be in the rotation, especially as these other guys figure out their jump shots. Cleveland on Thursday, which will be a much bigger and better test than the Brooklyn Nets were. Darius Garland left the last game, I think, on Saturday with a toe injury, so I imagine he does not play. They are also, if I remember correctly, the Cavs are on the second night of a back-to-back, and so it'll be interesting to see how the lineups and rest and all that type of stuff looks from the Cavs' perspective, but I'm excited to see how they play. It'll still be likely Donovan Mitchell, still be Evan Mobley, maybe Jared Allen, and so this is a really good Cavs team. Let's see how the Raptors play against that team. Because the Nets, I'll tell you, the Raptors sleepwalked through this game. They strolled through this game. And while there were some moments of like, are they going to pull it out? Are they going to do this? Are they really going to choke this game? For the most part, they comfortably won this. And they didn't really break a sweat. This Nets team is bad. And I expect the Raptors to beat the Nets handedly. Maybe it would have been better if I came to you and I said this was a 30-point win, but they kind of didn't look their greatest tonight. They didn't perform their best offensively tonight, and they still walked to a win. We'll see how that looks against the Cavs, because you can't do that against the Cavs. And yeah, I'm kind of excited for that. That should be a good game. Raptors have a decently easy schedule over the next month, but this Cavs game is a good measuring stick game. I'm excited for that. Folks, thank you very much for tapping into the film room. As always, subscribe to Raptors Republic. We appreciate you guys' support on all fronts. We're so close to 15,000 subscribers, so we appreciate you on that. And we will see you guys later for the Cavs game. Peace.